Hello, everyone. This is my daily vlog, episode 23, and today I've been thinking about divination. I used to be the kind of person who would scoff at divination, fortune telling, mystical things, and mystical arts of this nature. But as I've looked into divination, the spirits, gods, and I wasn't born into a religious family. In fact, my parents are atheists. But as I looked into these things, and even as I looked into science itself, I began to connect certain lines uh, and place dots that I still haven't connected to yet. And the more I delved into divination, I wanted to try it. So, I started out with runes. And runes are a great source of divination, but I didn't realize until way later that they are, in fact, spiritual entities. Every rune is a spirit, a primordial spirit, the gods of the gods, if you will. And the more you work with them, the more you realize that they speak to you based on their placement. And the more I used the runes, the more I got accurate either predictions, answers, or subject matter that I needed to research in order to move forward. And I started to realize that this was working. Now, the psychological answer, the reason why divination works, something like the runes, is that you start looking at your life through different points of view. And that these different points of view, by their very nature, make you aware of certain ideas that you weren't previously. So that you look at what your problem is, or whatever you're asking, from different vantage points. And that this actually gives you information purely from your own mind, from your own brain. And this actually adds a lot of merit to it. And I think that's part of it. I really do. But there are certain answers that I've gotten that seem to be from external sources. I've gotten answers that later came true, or there was new information introduced to me from a random source that re-solidified it in my mind. And over time, years and years, I started to realize that this was more than just my own mind or brain producing these results. There was something beyond myself producing these things. And I still work with the runes, don't get me wrong. And the more personal you are with the runes, the more that you make the set a part of yourself, the closer you'll be to these spiritual entities that will make their influence work for you. And so my first rune set was just a rune set that I bought. My second rune set was very similar. My third one, though, however, I didn't buy it. I chopped down a branch, I cut it into sections after stripping it with various tools, cut it into sections, and then I carved the runes into them with kind of a welding tool, and then I painted them. And this rune set became so connected to me that I have a great fondness for this rune set, and it's actually improved my results, strangely enough. And there's all kinds of sources you can go to for things like that if you get into detail. Rune guilds, different rune books, Nordic tradition books, shamanistic books. But I'll go ahead and move on to the tarot, because that's another system of divination that I'm starting to love. I haven't used the tarot before. Before about a year ago. And it's specific in a way that the runes simply aren't. It's specific to the human. A lot of the things with the runes, it seems like it could apply to various species, as weird as that sounds, and various just existences in reality. But the tarot are very attuned to the psyche and the human spirit. And they seem to produce answers that are more specific and more fulfilling than the runes do. Now, the runes are more, they still hold a very big place in my heart, and I still feel like I'm more connected to the runes than the tarot, but I've been using the tarot recently, and it feels like I have a lot more to go on. It feels like the more I work with the tarot, the more I can get in tune with my spiritual side, my spiritual body, my astral body, as some people would say. And that's who's really giving you the answers. Your astral body stands between you, the spirits, and gods. And they give those messages to your spiritual body, your astral body, and then it kind of gives them to you, your mind, your ego, your material body. And I'm really looking forward to working with it. But what I really wanted to get at is that we shouldn't close our minds to things like divination. even when the answers seem vague, even when they seem like, oh, that could be an answer to anything or any problem. If you record your answers over time, whether it be runes, tarot, or even a divination system that you made up, like I made one up with shells that I'll probably share at a different time, but I made up my own simple system of divination that has actually produced a lot of good results. But the more you record these answers, the more you see a linear progression of events in your life that are leading to a certain conclusion. And the more you start looking at your life through different facets that you might not have previously and without divination. Now, in psychology, one might say that's because you're looking at it from different points of view, because these ideas are introduced as glasses, different shades of glass to look through and to look at your life through. And that's definitely part of it. But the predicting side of divination, you start to see trends if you record these things. And I would say give it a chance. Give divination a chance, whatever form you use, whatever system you're comfortable with, or you can settle with, either one. Give it a shot. Use the divination system for 20, 30 times before you start to really form an opinion on it. And see how you've looked at your life, and if the runes or the tarot or the shells or the bones, whatever system you use, see if it is actually predicting things. And it's interesting because a lot of the time it's scary when we reach that point where it seems like it's predicting things, because it really is. And once you get past that fear, you start to realize, okay, this divination system has become part of myself speaking to myself, and I need to go further. I need to understand more. And really, that's what I've been thinking about today, divination. And I hope this video helped you. I hope it kind of inspired you to go into divination, give it a shot. And please I'd love that. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.